What's up? Yo, so what's your favorite food in Jersey over there? What's your favorite like
food?
go-to? Yeah, what's your
Pizza.
favorite go-to?
Pizza is king over here, man.
Pizza?
Yeah, man.
What kind of pizza do you like? Like deep dish or regular or
We don't do that deep dish shit over here, cuh. We do Brooklyn style, New York style, Neapolitan, things like that. Man, we won't do that deep dish shit.
Neapolitans, and isn't that ice cream with like the vanilla, the chocolate, and the strawberry?
I would expect you to say something like that, but no.
Because I'm uncultured.
Yeah, I would expect that from you, but no, it's not actually.
We're gonna have to one day break
You
this down,
guys,
because
you guys
we
have
only
never
have
had-
Domino's and Pizza
Yeah,
Hut,
you
dude.
guys don't know shit about pizza. Same way we don't know about like Spanish food and all that shit. Like you guys have no idea.
What is up? What is up? What is up? It is Sunday night, and welcome back. You're here with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here joined with my boy Brian D from New Jersey. Brian, what's up, my man?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? How's everything going?
Everything's solid, man. Everything's solid. Yesterday, like I said, 2 days ago, Friday, we had the opportunity to do a pretty awesome toy drive with the place I have our studio at. So we were out there giving out toys for free and pizza and all this. I know we're just talking about pizza right now, but we're just doing like Little Caesars. You guys got Little Caesars, right? Everybody's got. But I always tell motherfuckers, watch. There's a thing. If you ever go to work or you're in school and they say they're gonna have a pizza party and those motherfuckers walk in with Little Caesars, they don't love you, dude. They do not love you. Like Little Caesars is that like I don't know, man.
All right, so yeah, we did have a little bit of a conversation about pizza. Let me ask you, what is your definition of good pizza out where you live?
You're gonna fucking hate me, dude. Why am I even in this conversation?
I'm gonna think it's funny. I don't think I'm gonna hate you.
I really like. I mean, Pizza Hut is always a nice pizza. I mean,
I like Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I think it's very classy. It's very like Applebee's version of pizza, I guess you could say. That would be the Applebee's. Like that one time you came down and I took an Applebee's instead of like a real fucking Mexican restaurant. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Pizza Hut's that. It's classy. It's understandable. It's universal. I really dig Domino's, man. I like Domino's pizza. But
Okay, so if it was a toss up, but if you had a choice between Domino's or Pizza Hut, which one would it be?
Oh shit. I mean, it'd probably be Pizza Hut. Probably be
Okay.
Pizza Hut. Yeah, the cheesy bread's like that shit's the best, dude.
Pizza Hut's probably the only fast food pizza
style, right?
that I would eat. I don't eat Domino's or Little Caesars or Papa John's. That's just bullshit.
Well, Papa John's isn't too bad. I didn't even consider Papa John's because literally, like, they just like closed up one of them that was here in Edinburgh. That was like the only one that we had in the area, and then there's one in McAllen. But yeah, Papa John's ain't too bad either.
That guy, the owner, the Papa John's guy, he's got a house out here in Jersey, man. It's fucking crazy.
Is it real big or what? It's like one of those like fucking mansion style.
Yeah, it's maybe like 40 minutes from my house, and
Damn.
I literally just saw it like the other day on like Instagram or some shit like that on like a short, and it went through like his whole compound, and it's insane, bro.
Well, I mean, that dude has like a fucking conglomerate fucking pizza place. He's got to have something badass, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna be living in a fucking mobile home or some shit.
fair
You know
enough.
what I mean? But by chance, and I'm gonna ask you this because it was like a long time ago for us. Do you guys still have Hungry Howie's?
The fuck is that?
You know, okay, fuck, you never heard of Hungry Howie's? Okay, that's reassuring. But you guys, do you know what Checkers is in Rallies?
Yeah, we have Checkers.
Checkers is fucking good, dude.
Best fries on the planet.
Best fries on the planet, straight. I love Checkers, man. Like we don't have that down here in Texas anymore. Like
Okay.
Checkers got like pushed out. I don't know if it's like in the higher parts or like in West Texas, but we used to have a Checkers down here in the South Texas area, and it got closed down. Same thing with like Carl's Jr.
Mhm.
And what's the other one that they used to something with the H? It's like Harvey's or something like that. Hardee's, yeah. We used to have
Yeah.
one of those down here, and it got closed down. The only thing we got that's like that is like Arby's. We still have an
Okay.
Arby's that's up, but not a lot of people do it. Um, but yeah, so Hungry Howie's was kind of in that format. It was kind of like an Albertsons version of Domino's, I guess you could say. Like it was like a very like a I guess like a white person style Pizza Hut or like a white style, I guess, Italian place. Like I don't know how to explain it, but was real fucking badasses. Like you've seen these fucking the little popcorn shits, the powders.
Mhm. Yeah.
They had some shit like this, and they would put it on the crust of the pizza.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck, that got me so loaded on buying these and using it for my pizzas. So like I buy these powders and I'll put it like on my fucking like oh dude, it's so good.
Let me ask you, do you guys still have I remember when I used to live out in Texas, there was a thing called CiCi's. You guys still have that?
CiCi's Pizza? Yeah. We still have those,
Like a
and it's
buffet
fucking
pizza
super
shit?
popular. Yeah, dude, it's super popular. So
It's popular?
yeah. Well, I mean, because it's very like low priced. You know what I mean? Like you go
Yes,
in, you spend
yeah.
like what? You spend like $8, $9, and you got like a whole
Eat
buffet
all of
going on.
it. Yeah.
And what was cool is like you can go up to the counter and tell the dudes like what kind of pizza you want, and they'll be like, "Yo, hold on, I'm gonna try that shit," or like a bunch of stoners or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the food just didn't taste great, but like you know you're gonna get away with it for like $5 in a buffet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are man, that shit is always awesome after like we do a convention.
Okay.
Like yeah, we were just done, dude. Like we're all checked out. Like everybody's kind of like scrounging for money because you just spent money on all this fucking big ass shit. Look at this fucking giant thing that I got, dude. I showed you this, right?
So you'll spend it. You'll spend it on Ben Grimm. So then you're
Ben
left
Grimm,
with.
baby.
So then you're left with eating.
Yeah,
CiCi's
you're
for
left with
dinner.
fucking pennies, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Little Caesars will kick right up, or CiCi's Pizza will kick right in, and it's good to go. It's good to go. Yeah, we still got CiCi still kind of goes real good. Sonic Stars. You ever get Stars? You never eat Stars when you're down here?
I've never even heard of that before. No.
That's a very good. It's like a Valley version. I would say like a Valley, like a K version of the fucking Sonic, like the Sonic Drive-In.
Okay.
It's like one of those places, but it's a little bit more Mexican style.
Okay.
Really, really good. Really, really good. Whenever you make your way down here, I'm gonna take you to all these places. I'm fucking listed.
I'm not eating any of that shit. That all sounds like bullshit. Like I want some
dude, you're gonna eat the
authentic.
fuck out of it.
I want some authentic Mexican food, bro. Like I'm
No,
not
straight, yeah,
wasting my time
like-
at a fucking CiCi's or Hardy. Fuck that.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna make sure you don't go to the places you all have already. I gotta
You
make
guys
sure I
tricked
take
me
it all the
one time.
regular.
Yeah, you guys tricked me one time. I'm gonna. I've learned. Listen, I like to learn from my mistakes, and that's never gonna happen again.
Yeah. I got cut so many times in the comment section. They just get in here being like, "Man, Chris, I can't believe you did that shit."
That's some funny shit.
Yeah. No, so for sure, I'm gonna make sure that I take you to all the badass places down here. I got a bunch of lists already for the whole setup when you get down here. But
Nice.
yeah. Other than that, the week was good. Like I said, Friday we did a toy drive at MK's nightclub, which turned out very, very well. We had a lot of people, huge line, man, huge line, giving out toys to all the different ages, pizza, snacks, and tamales, man. Passing out tamales. Oh, I need to send you tamales too, man.
I'm not a big tamales guy, yo.
Nah.
Yeah, I know you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm not a big tamales guy.
No. Well, I mean, there's just different. What's your what type of tamales have you tried? Like what flavors?
I wasn't even aware there was multiple flavors, to be honest with you.
Well, you get your proteins, which is like sometimes you'll get your beef chicken or steak. Yeah,
I
beef chicken
usually get like chicken. I've only had like chicken, and I'm
the
sure
chicken.
obviously there's always more of the protein, but I've usually only had chicken.
And then people will add different amenities. There's like the ones that are real fucking popular is Delia's Tamales. That's a place down here. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. The FBI just did a giant raid on it like fucking 5 months ago.
That's promising.
Hey, at least you know that's legit, dude. When the FBI raids that shit, you're like, oh fuck, they put the good stuff in it.
Is that like a prerequisite to have a good chain restaurant
fucking,
down there?
You know,
you have to be rated.
All the fucking coke is in it and
FBI?
stuff. Yeah.
Listen, I'd rather it be rated by the FBI than the food service people. So yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, man, that shit made national news, man. So what they do is they have like oh yeah, it's a chicken, jalapeno, and cream cheese.
Okay.
And that shit is good, Brian. I am not even lying. It's super, super good. But yeah, I need to make sure man, I just want to send you a badass care package, like I was saying, just a bunch of shit from down here, just so you can try it out. And then of course, like we really can't have the opportunity to try Jersey pizza down here because we would need them to come down here. You know what I mean?
You
Do
guys
it.
can actually, ever since the pandemic, a lot of the New York places that are really good, like John's on Bleecker and things like that. Joe's, Carmine's, a lot of those places they start like they ship pizzas
Really?
now. Yeah, so
Oh
like
shit, I didn't even know
it's
that.
expensive as fuck. I think
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think I was looking up Joe's on Bleecker that just started shipping. I think it was maybe like $130 for like 4 pies, dude. I'm like, that's
Oh
insane.
shit.
But yeah, no,
Sounds
they
like
actually ship out, dude.
shit. I gotta try that one day, man. I've never really had like.
Or you can just come to New York, bro. Why don't you just save some money, come to New York, and I'll take you out to Manhattan, and we'll just get some authentic, real Italian fucking pizza, dude.
Now that you saw the fucking movie, do you want to go see Broadway Wicked with me or what?
That's never gonna happen. But I could take you to a pizza parlor though.
Pizza
I can
place?
do
You're
that for
like,
you.
let's go to pizza.
You
Fuck
can
that.
go, and then I'll meet you afterwards. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying? And we'll go
That's super
get
funny.
some pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be dope, man. It's a dream. I told you before, like to go that way because I've been down west and then down the middle, and I just got to go that way. Now I got to Florida. Now I just got to go upwards, and then
Yeah.
hopefully be up there soon. So it'd be dope. But yeah. What about you, man? What was your week like? What'd you guys do, or what you got going on?
My week was kind of slow, honestly. I didn't do much. Same old shit. Went to go see my daughter's. She had another fucking play this time. A play,
Damn,
a
she's all over the
Christmas
place.
play. She's dude. It's ridiculous, and she's not done either. Like the holiday season is like the worst time for this because she's in so much, and they all have some type of like holiday play or recital or dance or whatever. So yeah, I'm in the middle of that shit. But yeah, man, everything is relaxed. Just trying to get through this week because Christmas always tight on the pockets. Get rid of this week and then get through the new year, and then we're on and popping, bro.
I know that we don't really bring up a lot of stuff when it comes to like politics or like news or anything like that. But didn't they expedite that fucking guy that shot that dude? The Luigi Mangiani or Mangione or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was fighting it, and then because they only were charging him for the weapons charge or some shit like that, or fake IDs and shit like that. So he was fighting it. He lost. He's in New York now, so yeah, he's up here.
Yeah, well, dude, what was the whole thing about him fucking the walk or whatever? They were or that like made like rounds on YouTube and X and Twitter. Everybody was talking about that shit. So like
What
when they
about
had
it?
brought him out of the fucking I guess out of the police squad car or something, he had like a bunch of fucking people around him, and he's all in his fucking orange suit, and everyone was comparing him to Superman, Man of Steel, when he gives himself in, and all the cops are with him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was That's dude. This whole shit's a wild fucking thing, man.
I mean, he killed the fucking CEO of health
Major
insurance
fucking
company.
major
Guy.
fucking
Yeah, so
company.
like it's gonna be a spectacle. New York really doesn't play when it comes to crime like that.
Yeah.
So they have to make an example. So that's the reason why it's gonna be a big spectacle and it's gonna have so much coverage and all that shit. So yeah, that's what that is.
But it's crazy though, like because like you said, like New York as a state or as a county or whatnot, like they're the ones that are putting a lot of that heat, like trying to make an image out of him or a martyr out of him or whatnot, right? But like street level, like people love this dude. Like people fucking love. Like what? Like, do you get to hear like any of the remnants, like the vibe of everybody talking about this guy?
No, I mean I don't like I and that's what kind of amuses me because outside of where we live, it's like yeah, it's only getting this coverage because of who he killed,
Yeah.
but we don't talk about that. Like this shit's crazy over here. Not to say like we're any different from any other place in the world, but like over here, man, like that that
It's
shit
like
is that
almost
shit is
like an everyday thing, or like there's just so
It's
much
not
violence,
that
right?
it's not that big. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal over here. Honestly, the only thing that I was curious about was, our president to be planned on uh letting people travel with their guns, and I wonder how this type of case would
like falter in that situation, right?
Yeah, how does
Yeah.
that, like, how does this look in the face of that plan? Because like if you're just going to allow, because listen, I don't know if you guys know, but like New Jersey and New York have like the tightest gun
Laws. Yeah,
like
no, I've heard.
laws like
Yeah.
in the country. They
I
don't play
dude,
that
and that's
shit.
because like I forgot who I was talking to, but I got in a conversation and I was like, I actually thought that you guys didn't even like were allowed to have guns in the city and stuff like that.
We're allowed to have guns, but
Yeah.
like let's say like Texas, right? You have your it's a stand your ground state, right? There's no such thing as a stand your ground in New Jersey or New York. Like you have to really exhaust every measure to get away from a situation to
To be
avoid
able to use a gun, right?
to be able to use a gun.
Yeah.
If you get caught over here, you'll get more time. You get years per bullet out here.
Holy
If you
shit.
get
I
caught,
didn't even know that.
if you get caught with like a loaded clip, you
Yeah.
have to have like permits upon permits just to have that shit in your car. And you have to be, and I don't think you could take it out of whatever county you registered it in. So yeah, it's tough out here, bro. So it's like
Yeah.
that's another reason why it was a little bit weird, because like a guy walking around and shooting somebody at 6 a.m. in New York City,
Yeah, like in mid street, not giving
that
a shit if
doesn't,
anybody saw. Like,
yeah, that type of shit usually I mean it happens, but so cavalier and brazen, that was the kicker there.
yeah. I mean, for us too, man. I mean, watching it on the news was wild as shit. Like, I mean, coast to coast. I mean, people are gonna just be tripping out on just situation. But it's so crazy because, like,
Where do you fall on that spectrum of whether he's a hero or not? I want to know.
I don't find it like a hero thing because of the fact that like the next person that sees this is gonna want to do the same thing, but it's gonna be like for like a sloppier reason. You know what I mean? Like this guy went in there and he did it for whatever reason he truly believed that he was willing to give his life for. You know what I mean? But now that it's like it's been like a picked up and there's like a show and the meme community went crazy. People are like, I love this dude. The next person that does it is going to do it for like a cheaper reason, and it's going to keep on dropping lower and lower and lower because that door has been opened. It's like a Pandora's box, and sooner or later we'll eventually hear that someone shoots a person at McDonald's because the ice cream machine doesn't work, like for something stupid or something like cavalier in that nature. Like I understand where this guy's went. Like this is like do you remember when we were younger and they would do that shit where they were like, oh, he's gonna go postal, like, oh, he's gonna go postal. Remember, it was like a saying that we had like way back in the day when we were like college teen level, right? And that was the fact of like, I think it was like a mailman had went crazy and just like shot up either like his company or he shot like the people he was delivering to because he just got overworked, overpressured, just overstimulated with everything, and he just couldn't handle it anymore, which is like a mental breakdown, right? Like, I mean, you gotta, that's the only way you kind of put it in there. And it's the same thing with this guy. Like when you hear him and his talking points, or you read his manifesto, it's all past the boiling point of what he could mentally take and what he couldn't take anymore. Like the thing that trips me out is like, everyone is of course, I mean, yeah, there's no like justice for what the healthcare industry does, right? For what it comes to like insurance and stuff. We've all been there. It's either like in car accidents or home insurance with people in Florida, or even like the healthcare system where you pay money monthly to get services. And then when you really need those services for something dire, like they always pull the plug on you. You know what I mean? Like, and that's universal. That's in all three of those systems. And the concept is those people that run those companies, they collect the money and they need to find ways not to be paying people out because they're going to get rid of all their money, right?
Yeah.
So it's a shit system, but that's what we pay for. Like we jump into those. Like how many times? Like I mean, you're like my age, dude. Like how many times have we gone in to look at personal health, life insurance or health insurance, and then we're like second guessing it or pushing it aside, or we don't get it because we just can't afford it, you know, this month or next month or whatnot. You know what I mean? And even in that factor, we know how important it is to have, but in our minds we're like, well, fuck it, like I can work without it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's wrong for us to have to think that way, but we've already been embedded as to what these companies do. You know what I mean? Am I for it? No. I understand why this person mentally broke and probably did something like that. Do I think it's right? No. But it's like, what else is he gonna do? Like, you have people protesting like all the time. People protest every day, and it feels sometimes when the protest is at like 20 people, 30 people, less than 100, you fall on deaf ears. You know what I mean? No one listens to you when you're in a small protest. Like, you live in a large city, and the protesting scene in your city is way bigger than what ours deals with in an everyday nature. Like, before this situation, how many people did you see protesting for health insurance to go down or to work right?
I mean,
Really not, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's crazy, because if you guys don't see it over there like that, down here it's like invisible. People don't really protest for that in general. You know what I mean? So with a company that deals with billions of dollars, they're not going to listen to 12 people in a parking lot with fucking cardboard signs. But what if this fucking backfires? What if this dude shooting this CEO and killing him makes the companies even tighter? You know what I mean? Like, what if it would have went that way? Like, what if it makes it worse? What if, like, I forgot what they were talking about, the number was, but like when they deny people, it was like at a 37 or 30 something. What if it goes up to like 48 now because they're like, hey, fucking shoot one of us, we got you guys too, or whatever. You know what I mean? But it was like gang shit. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know how it's gonna turn out. I'm hoping. I believe we all do, that the companies of these companies, or the people of these companies, look at this and say, hey, you know what? Like, these people, I think they're mentally like fed up with us. We got to change things around. Like, if this happened, we have to change things around. I guess that's like the only thing I can think of. But what do you think, Brian?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's pretty much across the board.
Same.
I don't know. Like, I trip out when I see people like praising this guy. Like, does that kind of like catch you like at all? Like, do you kind of feel like that's a little weird that there's people out there that are like they're praising this dude?
In 2025, I mean, everything's fucking weird, so it doesn't.
Yeah, oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we're in 2025. I just don't think this floats when we were kids, like when we were younger. I don't think it goes this way. Like, nowadays, I think, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's weird. It's very fucking weird. What do you think is going to happen to this kid?
I mean, I don't know. I think he's gonna go to jail for a very long time. As of right now, he should just be worried about whether or not he's gonna be facing the death sentence. That's it.
Do they still have that in the New York area?
It's a good question.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, probably. We should probably get life then. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean, because I did hear, like, pass by that the death penalty was something that had got mentioned that this guy might be in line for. But I don't think
they have it in New York though. I could be wrong, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. So I don't know.
I was gonna say I remember that there was only like a couple of states that stuff. I mean, Texas has that shit like fast food.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care about this case. Like, I don't care. It doesn't move the needle for me. Like, this kid was a weirdo. The fucking CEO was a weirdo, and he shot him in broad daylight. Like, it was news to me for like all of a week. And now I don't really give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, if I run across
it was the phantasma of it.
Yeah,
right? Like
if I run across it, I may read into it, but I'm not actively looking to see what happens to this kid. I really don't care.
Church. I get that. Well, good shit, man. Yeah, I heard that shit happening on, and everybody was talking about it, and I was kind of like, man, I wonder what Brian thinks about this, because you're like in that area, right?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, listen, I still got to get up and go to work, so I don't necessarily like I got a lot more things to worry about than what happens to this fucking spoiled, privileged kid that decided to go shoot a fucking CEO in broad daylight in Manhattan.
Oh yeah, he was like loaded too, right?
I couldn't care less, man.
Well, you know what I care about is what we're going to be talking about first for tonight. Brian, Karate Kid Legends trailer dropped this week. Did you get to check it out?
I did.
What do you think, man? What do you think? So, Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, fucking pulling that shit out of nowhere. How do you feel about it watching the trailer?
You're going to have a way better take on this than I am. I'm not really a big Karate Kid fan. So it's like, I watched it just because, again, it crossed my timeline. But am I looking forward to it? Am I probably going to go watch this movie? Probably not. Fun fact, I've never seen one episode of Cobra Kai.
Shit.
never watched it when it was on Netflix or when it was on YouTube. When it was on Netflix, I'm over it. Like, there's just certain properties for me personally that I couldn't care less if I ever see it again. I know I sound like a negative Nancy today or whatever, but to be honest with you, I saw it. It seemed cool. I would have thought that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he may still be in it, but I thought at some point Jaden Smith would have been in it, which I'm sure he probably still may be in the movie. But I mean, it's cool to see the universes kind of connect, you know. But am I looking forward to see it? Nah, not really.
No. I thought it was really, really interesting. I mean, it's always such a cool way to see Jackie Chan back on the screen. I mean, Jackie Chan is a G legend. I mean, everybody loves him. And as he gets older, it's like, you know, it's the only kind of like connection we have to him to see how he's doing in life and where he's at. You know, it sucks to see your heroes, you know, start to get old and stuff like that. But what's cool about the Karate Kid story is, of course, like we all remember with the younger one, of course, because of Cobra Kai picking it up. But it's all based on Japanese karate with the whole Miyagi guy and Mr. Miyagi and all that other stuff. And Cobra Kai as a television show, you know, it picked up super crazy popularity out of nowhere. Everybody loves it. They changed the story of the Karate Kid very well. They took something that was super beloved from back in the day.
They did not change the story. I think that's the reason why I don't care. It's the same story every fucking movie.
Well, okay, let me ask you.
It's the same story. The Karate Kid, every Karate Kid movie, and again, I can't watch I don't know about the show. Even the show is probably the same. It's probably the same thing.
No, the show's different. The show's different.
Every Karate Kid movie is the same story.
Go for it. What do you think it is? Tell me the story.
It's just this. It's about a kid that gets bullied, wants to learn karate, finds somebody to teach him karate, and then they enter a fucking tournament, and then they either win or lose. That's literally every fucking. That's literally every fucking story of Karate Kid is like that, and I'm telling you, this movie is gonna be the exact same thing.
Well, okay, so that's pretty much the stories of the 80s Karate Kid movies, right? You know, Danielson comes in,
and the 90s, and the Hillary
Swank,
right? Hillary Swank one, the Jaden Smith. That's every story was that story.
So what was very interesting about Cobra Kai is that it flips the story a little bit. And what do I mean by that is in the original Karate Kid, the story made Daniel-san, which is Ralph Macchio's character, the hero, right? He's like the hero character. He goes in, finds the girl, saves her, joins the tournament, stops the bully. The bully falls in love with him too because he beat him up or whatever. Like, you know, it's got that whole like, yay, like coming to power storyline, right? Well, in the Cobra Kai TV show, what it does is it tells you like, no, well, you know what? Actually, Daniel Russo's a piece of shit because this guy that he beat up, that bullied him, was only in a breakup with his girlfriend, and Daniel Russo swooped in on him and tried to take his chick. So the guy just like fought him because he tried to steal his girlfriend. Daniel Russo tried to swoop in. And he's just super down on his luck, dude. Like I think you get a fucking kick out of it. Like, I mean, maybe for like the first couple of episodes, because then it turns into a fucking Power Ranger thing. Like it turns into like the Power Rangers where like they're just fighting for no reason. They're fighting in cafeterias or the mall, or there's never any fucking cops or adults. It's just a bunch of kids like beating the shit out of each other. But like, it was so funny for them it would be like if you took the Back to the Future story, right?
Yeah.
And in all the format of like Doc taking Marty McFly to go like change the future, you find out that was really like Rick and Morty, and Marty dies like a bunch of times and Doc's always fucking up. Like then you'd be like, oh fuck, that's crazy. It's kind of like dark. It's like a dark, twisted version of the original story. And that's what the Cobra Kai show did. Like, you know, it brought in all this elaborate storytelling for all the characters that you just kind of like cookie cuttered in the old 80s movies. So what's cool is that now in the show, they kind of mix this idea that Mr. Miyagi, who was like this, you know, the hermit that taught Daniel Russo how to use, you know, fucking no fighting to win fights or whatever. It kind of breaks into this idea that he actually had like a really dark history. And before he was Mr. Miyagi, the cool little Japanese dude, like he was running with the triads. He was doing shit with like fucking the Yakuza and like all. You're kind of like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, this was not the Mr. Miyagi I grew up with.
Yeah.
So like now we're gonna find out, because in the Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan is also a Miyagi, isn't he? Or does he go by a different name, or he's like, I don't know. I think he goes by a different, maybe the same name. But they're gonna find out that that's like his brother, or like Mr. Miyagi's long lost brother, or cousin, or sister. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He's gonna do something. And he went, instead of him coming back to Japan, he went to China, and he took the Japanese style over there. Because that's why people made fun of the Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith, is because karate's Japanese, it's not Chinese. So like that was like the big funny thing. We were all like, haha, like it's fucking Chinese kung fu, like, and they're calling it the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Well, this movie's gonna fix that, because it showed that in the Cobra Kai show, it fixed that with Miyagi going to China and doing all this other stuff. So like this idea of them mending the Chinese and Japanese culture has been like a taboo in the martial arts world. Like it's never been that way in the Japanese, in the martial arts movies. Like it's always like Japanese systems stay over here, Chinese systems stay over here. One's always better than the other, and both of them talk a big game. This is going to be a movie that they're actually going to combine them into one system. So I'm kind of like, as a martial arts like guy, movies and all that shit all my life, like I'm kind of excited to see this. Kind of excited how they're going to do it, because it's like I said, like they don't really do this in films where they combine Chinese and Japanese arts to say that that's what's going to create the hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to see, like, of course, Daniel Russo playing, Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan playing these two like totally different characters, like away from each other. Like I'm super excited. I think that the economy of both characters are going to really, really make it rise. I think it's going to shine a little bit.
Good.
So,
I am excited that you're excited, but I will be passing on this movie, and I can't wait for your review when you see it.
I'm gonna dig it. I think it's gonna be one of those ones that I really, really like.
Sure
But yeah, we'll jump to the next one, because I other than that, I really don't think like you're really into like the whole story or anything like that. So
it's not the story, it's the same fucking story. How many times can I watch the same story over and over and over again and just be excited about it?
And you know what? I didn't even take into consideration about what you said with what's his Smith, like him coming out in the film.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll. I mean, if they were smart, they would probably.
Well, they're the producers of the show. They still own the rights. Will Smith owns the rights to Karate Kid.
Okay, well then I'm sure he'll show up. Because honestly, if you're thinking that you're gonna get, and I'm sorry, no disrespect, if you think you're gonna get Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan to bring people into the theater besides like the normies, the people that for the money, not the people that are into it. That's a small niche of people. Yeah, you gotta bring in somebody more than that. I apologize. Like you're gonna need to bring in somebody more than that. So I would hope that on this next trailer, we get a preview of Jaden Smith showing up.
That'd be really dope. That'd be cool too, because, and not only that, what's her face? Hilary Swank would be really cool.
And again, that would be cool. Like that would bring somebody that saw the original Karate Kid, that Karate Kid to come, and that'll just bring in more people. Because as is right now, I'm not running to the theater and handing over.
I'm not reserving a fucking seat, man.
I'm not handing over my money to see a fucking old ass Ralph Macchio and an old ass Jackie Chan with the same story that they've been recycling for the past 30 years.
It's not fucking Star Wars, dude. It's just a bunch of dudes fucking fighting each other in a fucking basketball court. Boys and Girls Club, man.
2025 is gonna be too loaded, man, to be fucking around. You guys are gonna have to bring out the heavy guns.
Very, very true. Cool. Well, onwards into the next conversation. Past Karate Kid. Can't wait. You guys are excited? Let us know in the comment section. Onwards into shows. All right. So, Brian, you've had the opportunity, or actually, you know what? Let's jump into Creature Commandos. All right. Okay. Yeah. I've gone up to I want to say episode 2, but right now they're episode 4.
I believe so. It's episode 4. Yeah.
Been getting good praises from a lot of people. I haven't had the opportunity to catch the newest episodes. I do want to catch back into it, but Brian, you're caught up on it. And what have you've been digging it? Like what's been going on with Creature Commandos?
Yeah, so kind of piggyback off of my last review of it, I've been digging it. I think that it's still something that I'm interested in watching. It's kind of have like this dual uh it's kind of like an episode that handles two uh things at one time. You know, you have your main story and then you have your backstories to each character.
Mhm.
Um and that's basically what this last episode was. It's a backstory on Weasel that kind of retcons what we know about him. And so
Previously, right?
yeah, it kind of makes him more of a sympathetic character as opposed to just some object that's there that we think is crazy and actually gives us a little bit of backstory on this character, which is interesting. And the way that it was drawn out, the way that it was played out, it gave the character some heart, and it was cool. And
Nice,
then
nice, nice.
actually, along with that, you also have the main story where now we're getting to what's going on with the main story, and they're executing it really well. But you said you haven't gotten a chance to watch it though, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen the newer episodes. I've only seen up to Frankenstein's episode. So and the bride. That's
Okay,
episode 2.
so there's episode 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, episode 3 was about the GI robot, which is a
Mhm.
great episode. This episode really for me wasn't as good as the third episode, which I think is probably the best episode so far.
Mhm.
Um, it's not as good, but it's still pretty good. It has me wanting to watch it. What has it just are you liking it, or is it just that it's just something that you'll come across it when you get to it?
I guess at first when it first came out, I was kind of a little indifferent because I didn't really have any faith in it because it's just a throwaway show. But I know that James Gunn excels very, very well when he has a
Wait,
clean
wait, hold
slate.
on, hold on. Why do you think it's a throwaway show?
Like Creature Commandos is not really like a big IP when it comes to the DC universe.
Okay.
It's not like a world. It's not like in any other crisis. Like you name any crisis that they've ever had, and name when Creature Commandos was a part of it.
But I mean, like in this DC universe, it's a part of it.
Yeah, well, this one, because James Gunn is going to be creating this universe, right?
Yeah.
Like he's the one that's kind of like handpicking these characters because they're all going to play a part in the overarching story he's going to create.
So wait, are you saying that you're not interested because they're not major characters or they're not really important characters?
Well, they weren't in the IP of DC Comics. Like
Okay.
they're there, but they're not like doing anything big. Suicide Squad was always a bigger pull, like in that nature, because you're like, okay, cool. Like I can reference this. I know where some of this stuff will lead up to. I know who plays with what and whatnot. Creature Commandos was always kind of like this idea that they're more of like the Constantine side of things. Like they're more into the dark arts and all this other stuff, which Batman kind of plays into a little bit, but then it doesn't really go too far into it. But I know that James Gunn is very, very good, like I said, at using IPs and creating them and linking them together. So I like going into it and watching the first 2 episodes. I didn't think they were that bad, but I didn't have anything that caught my eye. That GI robot guy was kind of funny. Rick Flag was kind of a funny guy too when he's fighting Dr. Phosphorus. So like there were some things I really caught, and I like what they did with Cersei. I thought that was really, really cool. Like I said it the last time, but it wasn't something that really like had me hooked that I was gonna like that I'm forcing myself to like, oh man, fuck it, just drop, let me get on it. You know what I mean? So like I
Yeah.
kind of like overlook it a lot. But I know that James Gunn in certain interviews that he's been doing recently has been saying um it does play a huge factor into the foundation of what he's laying across for like his universe. So he's telling us as an audience that we do got to pay attention to this because this is going to give us some really good insight. So like where it goes, I don't know, but I do know like I heard that in this episode they were having like some type of like there's like a vision or like a flashback or something to with something with the Justice League. Do you know what I'm talking about in that episode?
I do.
Yeah.
Listen, spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen the episode.
Mhm.
Just as a heads up, if you don't want to know what happens
Mhm.
in this episode, please just mute for a little bit. Um, but yeah, just a spoiler alert. Yes, I do know the scene that you're talking about. It is a vision. Amanda Waller gets projected the vision of what's to happen in the future. and it seems the queen of whatever country that we're following or whatever, she somehow gets uh a control of this very powerful army and takes over basically the entire world and beats the metahumans and kills
Shit.
them all basically. And you
Oh
see
fuck.
visions of Batman, Wonder Woman. They made sure to make they made a specific effort to make sure that Peacemaker was in this as well. And then they showed like the Superman cape as a flag,
Mhm.
showing that he was defeated and conquered. So there's a vision that this queen is going to take over and the entire world basically and kill everybody.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. Okay. So I heard about this,
Yeah.
and what was interesting, I think I told you like. Well, I just want to. I need to say something real quick that the comment section isn't working on our podcast program. There's people commenting in Facebook, and that means I can't see who's commenting on YouTube. But I'm checking them out right now. I just want to give a shout out, Mark Velasquez, the guys from Chewinu, D Vargas in the comment section, David.
Oh, I gotta pull it up. Yeah, I was thinking that they were just like ignoring us, but yeah, we
Yeah.
can't see it.
No, they're here, man, and that's why I was kind of like, I saw you kind of look across, and I was like, is he looking for the comments? Because it's kind of weird. Like, no one's commenting. Usually, someone will jump in by now. And I went to the fucking the YouTube channel. Well, not the YouTube. I went to the Facebook, and all the guys are in the comments. So, guys, thank you very much for jumping in with us. We're gonna be talking, of course, about Superman. I see that Mark is talking about the trailers.
Yeah,
Nuts.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
And sorry we haven't been saying anything. Dell, thank you guys for jumping in from the comic menu. And Nathaniel Edwards Dominguez, thank you very much, dude, for jumping in. We appreciate you guys, man. So I hope we caught you guys while you guys are still watching. So, but oh yeah. Hey, well, there you go. Fucking Derpy's in the YouTube channel. Yeah, man. Good shit. Well, we didn't know if the comments were working, but YouTube looks like it's working. Derpy's comments came through. But in Facebook, the boys are down here. So yeah, it may take us a little bit longer because Facebook loads like every 30 seconds, but we'll make sure that we comment to you guys and yell out your comments. But thank you guys so much. But going back, there was some interesting thing that dropped. I saw some highlights of what was going on in this coming episode. This is what's got me kind of like, fuck, I need to be watching this now. So in that vision of like the future and the metahumans all taken out, in the background blurred out is a character that kind of means a fuckload to a lot of people, and it's the Flash. But it's not Barry Allen's Flash. It's Wally West Flash from Teen Titan. We know we're going to be getting a Titans movie that James Gunn is going to be doing also. But a crazy rumor that just popped off was that there is a possibility that Grant Gustin is going to be coming back to the DC universe, and he's really good friends with James Gunn. Now, Brian's not going to like this. But, Brian, what if I was to approach you and say that if Grant Gustin does come back, he's going to play more of a Jay Garrett mentor character to the Flash that's going to be Wally West. A whole new Flash. They're not going to bring Ezra Miller back. It's going to be a whole new actor playing the Flash, and he's going to be the Justice League's Flash. Wally West, not Grant Gustin, not Barry Allen, but Wally West. What do you think about that?
Cool. I'm not familiar with the character, to be honest with you. When it comes to Flash, I'm limited, so I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know much about him, to be honest with you. I guess that'd be cool. I'm on board.
Well, just to give some backstory, Wally West's Flash is the Flash from the Justice League cartoons, if I'm not mistaken. That should be Wally West. So I don't know if you remember like the Justice League cartoons with like the badass animated Batman, the badass Superman, like the cartoon that was going on for a bit. Like that should be Wally West, if I'm not mistaken.
Got it. No,
So
I'm not familiar.
he's a pretty prominent Flash. So it'll be different from what we're used to, but it's still going to be the same dude with the same power kind of shit.
It's a prominent Flash. This guy's a fucking D-list fucking Flash, bro. No one has heard of this. No one has heard of this
Wally?
fucking character before. No one.
Everybody knows Wally West.
First off, how dare you have the name Wally? Don't have my super. First off, my superhero's fucking name should not be Wally, bro.
Wally.
Wally, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm not gonna be a fan of no fucking super. Nah, I'm good, bro. Bullshit.
Well, you look. Even Derpy says if this is the first time hearing it, that it would be nice if it was it was Wally West, because Wally West in the comic books after Infinity Crisis,
no one knows who
comic
the
book
fuck
readers
that
know
is,
who
bro.
Wally West is.
Yeah, I don't, bro. Like, give me Barry Allen, bro, and shut the fuck up, bro. Not you, but like, what's his name? James Gunn. Give me Barry Allen, bro. Like, we don't got time for this.
We don't got time for the other guy.
We don't got time for this shit, bro.
I think it'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be interesting.
We don't got time for Wally, dude. I'm sorry.
But you know what? I also heard that there's just going to be multiple Flash characters. Like multiple Flash characters. Like James Gunn's going to be like, yo, there's going to be like fucking 3 of them or 8 of them that are going to be in this. So it's going to be crazy, man. The James Gunn DC universe, I feel, is going to be fucking bonkers, dude. I feel like it's going to be really, really crazy. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, Creature Commandos has been going very, very well. A lot of people are talking about it and praising it. James Gunn did come out and say that it's going to be giving a baseline of what his DC universe is going to be about. And right now, it seems like Creature Commando is going to be doing almost like an origin story for each of the characters. So far, we have the Bride, we have Weasel, and you said GI Robot.
Yeah.
So that means we're gonna get a Dr. Phosphorus episode, and then
I heard that episode is gonna be nuts.
The Dr. Phosphorus one.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And then the fish lady. I don't know her name. And then I guess eventually like Rick Flag, or was that would you consider the first episode?
I mean, I'm sure they have to. I mean, if they're gonna give everybody else a backstory, they got to give him a story as well.
Yeah, and how many? We're looking at what, like 8 or 9 episodes for this whole series to pop off.
Probably. Honestly, I have no idea how many episodes in this season. I'm just enjoying it. It's not something that I have to pay attention to too hard. It's just something that you put on and you just enjoy. It's good. Yeah, it's got a lot of action. It's got some good dialogue. The father from Stranger Things that's playing Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. He had a really good he's doing really well as Frankenstein. And then there's a part in this episode where Frankenstein and Rick Flag kind of a fight, and it's really cool.
Nina Mazur-Sky. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but dope. So far, rating.
If I were to give this a rating out of 10, I'd probably give it maybe like around a 7.5. Okay. It's really good.
Oh, that's not too bad. Cool. Well, you guys heard it here first. 7.5. Guys, Creature Commandos is on HBO Max, right?
Yes.
It's on HBO Max, guys. Don't forget, go check it out. They're on episode 4, episode 5. Recommended. Onwards to the next part. So, Brian asked me to watch it. I caught up to all the episodes, if I'm not mistaken. But we are, of course, into Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
So, Brian, I am now caught up on this show, which you asked me to watch. Oh, shit. Yeah, I am now caught up. I did my work. I did my fucking Penguin, and now I'm in Star Wars, dude. Penguin is still a fucking banger, and now we're in Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It's been fun, man. It's been a nice, enjoyable ride. You could tell that. I mean, this is something.
All right. Fall back, because I'll do the mediation here, because I'm not gonna let you just freestyle this. All right, I just some specific things I want to know. Okay. All right, we're not gonna let you just get off on the rails here. Okay? Ride through it and shit. I need to know specifically, now that you're all caught up, like the rest of the freaking world and all the nerds that are out there. I want to know, what are we on, episode 4? I think same thing with Creature Commando. I want to know, what were your first initial thoughts watching the first 2 episodes? What were your initial thoughts and the feeling of this show? Did you get a Star Wars feeling? Did you get just an 1980s Steven Spielberg ambient feel to it, or was it a mashup of all that? What was it? Describe that for me, please.
So for me, like after, I would say like the first like 10 to 15 minutes of the first episode, I felt like it was more of like a a callback to the Steven Spielberg Super 8 even style of movie telling. Like I mean, the Goonies is going to be the first thing that pops up. And again, like a lot of the music and a lot of like the cinematography is very very much embedded into like the Goonies culture and all that stuff. Um I thought it was cool. Like I thought it was kind of fun. Like I said, very Steven Spielbergish, more than a George Lucas film. Like but then at the same time, I also felt that it was very much like that Animal Place Counter Earth from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like I kind of felt like that as a vibe where like they had like the suburbs, like people had like houses in like regular like neighborhoods. Kids were on little scooters and buses and metros and all this other stuff. I was kind of like I've never really seen any of this stuff in the Star Wars universe to look at like this. Everything was always like cloaks and weird like monkish Tibetan style clothing, or like I don't know how to explain it. Like a lot of the culture in this show is very Americanized compared to the culture that the Star Wars films has, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like it's some of that was a little bit like sometimes I would forget that I was watching something Star Wars. But you know, then
Now, was that a good thing or was it a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing anymore. And the reason why is because we as the older culture of Star Wars fans look at everything with such a fine-tooth comb that we have something to kind of like fall back on in reference to. This one, the only thing you can reference to is, oh shit, well, this community isn't like the other communities that are in the Star Wars world. And then the story comes in and says, oh, well, that's cool because it's very disconnected and hidden from the rest of the world. And you're kind of like, oh, well, fuck, that's all I got. Like, there's no Jedi. They mention Jedis, you know, but they're nobody really knows what they are. It's more like it reminds me of like Knights of the Old Republic, the video game,
Okay.
but just in the sense of who the people are. I thought it was super cool, man. Thought it was super super cool. So, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas, Chuanu. Good to see you guys, man. Appreciate you guys so much.
1000%. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. But yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, I really don't think that this series is meant for the basic Star Wars fan. I think this is just like
that's a great question. You're probably going to answer it right here, but from what you've seen so far, who is this show for?
The newer audience of Star Wars. Like the newer
Are we
audience.
talking like the kids, younger kids?
Yeah, 100% children.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a kids show. This is 100% a kids show.
Okay.
Like you feel it. Like you know, I mean, even the adults in the show are like, "Are you guys just kids?" Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a kids show. You know what I mean? It's the exact same thing as the mama character from the Goonies that had the sons and shit that were like all the crime guys. And all the times the Goonies kid would come around, they'd be like, "What are you doing, you fucking kids?" or whatever. Like, yeah, what the hell with that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just they were just mobsters that were dealing with a bunch of like, you know, 10-year-olds or whatever. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel in this one too, man. Like, I kind of feel like it's a little like the last episode. I think you and I were talking about this a little bit. They go to this counter planet that's kind of like theirs. They run into like a whole bunch of other people, and for some reason, like these people trust children to run shit or whatever. Like, his daughter, who's like a 12-year-old's got a gun and is the captain of a lieutenant or of a team or whatever the fuck. I was kind of like, bro, they're just kids. Like, why is it all of a sudden like kids are important now? Like, in all the other shit, like kids are always like, you know, they're just fucking kids. They run around in the background and do shit. Like, why are these people letting children run a fucking war, you know, party or war scenario? There's a little bit of kind of like awkwardness that you're trying to do just to do, I guess. But other than that, it's good, man. Jude Law is doing such a good job. You know, he's a G. He's running it very well in the show, and yeah, I think it's going pretty fun. I think it's pretty fun.
All right, so just to backtrack just a little bit, the aspect of the kids that are kind of like warriors. They actually explained why they allow their kids to be warriors, but you didn't find any type of I guess, addition or reasoning for that? Not that it hit you at all.
I forgot what the reason was. Maybe I didn't hear that part. But what did they say that the kids
Uh,
because
because he said that when they first were captured by the little tribe or whatever, they said, we're just kids. And they said, well, we treat our kids like adults
yeah,
because
yeah.
we have to we treat them with respect because we're all fighters, we all fight together.
Yeah, we all fight
And
together. I
like,
remember that
yes,
part.
and so that's like, and then they did go into a little bit further, but I think that aspect is, to me, the most interesting part of the whole episode, because why are they fighting? Why are they warriors? Why are they so hard? And it's this entire episode, again, spoiler warning to anyone
Yeah.
that hasn't watched this last episode, but this entire episode, they were the kids that, our kids, the ones that we're following, they were explaining about how this entire planet mimics their planet.
Yeah.
So now you're, for me, I'm initially wondering, okay, well then how did we get here? Like,
Yeah.
how is it that
The community fell.
you have an identical planet, but yet it's a war zone, it's a battle zone. And so I think that was the whole reasoning for this episode, was that at some point we're gonna get an explanation for that. Whatever happened
Yeah.
uh to this planet was kind of a blueprint as to what not to do on at Aten, or
Yeah.
maybe
True,
the
true, true.
foreshadowing of what can happen to at Aten.
Yeah,
So
for some reason I was also getting Fallout vibes.
yeah,
I was really getting like this vibe that it was like Fallout, like all these other planets are like different vaults, and each vault has like a different ruling, and they're checking to see which one is going to be more successful. And I want to believe that these were like the remnants of the Empire going into the New Republic. So like the way that the city that at is ran, everybody is grown into a job. You know what I mean? Like everyone is like automatically, like when you're born, you're kind of like put into a position and you have to go into that position all the way to school, and then you test for it. Usually the same thing your parents do. And then boom, you go into the next one. Everybody has like a hierarchy, right? Even the little girl's mom, who's like the head of the whole and everything, she's trying to get her daughter into the same format. So I was kind of like, it's crazy because all of these people, all the kids, they just like they find the ship and they just take off, and then all of a sudden, like, they're out there, they're gone, they don't know what's up, but they're just going and running into all these different communities until eventually they find a new planet that's based on their planet. And that's when my brain was like, yo, is this like Fallout, the TV show, like where the chick leaves the vault and then she goes out into the world and the world's like really, really hard on her. But then she ends up going into the other vaults and she finds out those vaults are like, there's something kind of like just a little bit off about it. Like there's always just something that's what is it, like a government thing, or like a ruling, that like a hierarchy that gets changed from one pod to the other. And yeah, I think theirs was probably the most successful one until um the pirate ship had crash landed, and that kind of like it infected, like I guess you could say, like the community, because those people had to have gone somewhere, right? Like
yeah.
the people on that ship. So yeah, that's my thing.
I'm just gonna reiterate one thing. I'm more interested because again, I've already explained how I feel about the show,
Mhm.
but and I wanted to get your perspective on it. But again, I'm gonna reiterate. The one thing I do appreciate about this show is that it kind of neutralizes the toxic fan base that has become the Star Wars
Yeah,
community.
that's a good point.
And although, and I told you behind the scenes, and I'll say it here, it's getting a little bit boring to me. Like, it was cute the first couple episodes. It's
Okay.
getting a little bit boring to me now, but I still appreciate it for the fact that you can just enjoy it and not have to. I don't know. You don't have to compare it to any other Star
Yeah.
Wars content that exists.
Yeah.
And I think
100%.
and although it's becoming a little bit daunting to watch and it's becoming repetitive each episode, I don't want to get I don't want to have that fall out of perspective. Like I'm enjoying it because I can enjoy it. I don't have to wait for a cameo or wait for things to be chronologically correct. Like I don't like or something to align with a bigger aspect. You can just turn this on and enjoy it for what it is. And for that, I do appreciate this show, if I'm going to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
yeah, I kind of spoiled it. Just my perspective of the show as of right now. It's getting a little bit stale. I kind of needed to ramp up a little bit. Like I get where we're going. You kind of got a little bit of movement towards the end of the episode, but I needed to ramp up now. Like I get it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's really, really good. I think it's like a fresh breath of air
A breath of
when it
fresh
comes to
air.
the Star Wars community.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we're coming off of Alkalite, which got a lot of slack because of the fact that there was always like so many weird assets and things being used and people dissecting of what is what and where what goes and where who goes and who's now the meta or the powerful or whatnot. Like there's just so much that happens because everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be right. And it's like you said, like in this show, nobody wants to be right. It's just an adventure. Like it's literally just like you said, you could turn it off and just get lost in what everybody else is doing. You don't have to wait for like some Easter egg to tell you like that Obi-Wan's going to be coming in or, Ahsoka's going to be here or whatever. It's just 4 kids in a spaceship with Jude Law and they're going around. Like I'm digging it. I think it's super cool. If if you could get a cameo, what would be the person that you would want to cameo in this show? Who do you think would be perfect to cameo in the show? I have the perfect cameo in my head right now.
Well, you got to keep in you got to keep in perspective at the time frame that this is around. So we were talking about the Mando, Grogu, Ahsoka, around that timeline. I think maybe Ahsoka would be cool.
Should be cool.
I think I think even a Mando, because Mando is out here just traveling,
saving, right? He's saving people and stuff.
Yeah, so like I can see a Mando appearance.
Yeah, he's like a freedom fighter right now. He's just out there doing good things.
Yeah.
What about, and I'm gonna throw this out in the dark, but I think this would be the greatest cameo. Ahmed Best.
Okay.
The guy that saved Grogu, the kids.
I get it, but what would he be doing here?
Well, he's like, eventually he ends up finding out that there's like these kids that are out there that are lost because they've already told the community at Atten. So they're going to have to hire someone that either is like some type of bounty hunter that they could keep secret, like about the community, or someone that can keep a secret, or someone that, you know what I mean? Like they're going to have to hire someone high.
Of all the people that you can have come into this show, this guy.
You want to know why though?
He has no significance other than he's
the guy that helps the children in all the Star Wars shows. He's the guy.
Yeah, but he only helped Grogu because of his location, because he was there.
That was one. He's the teacher in the new Padawan show. And he's also the guy that ran the television show that was the adventure show. That was a contest for kids on like Disney Channel based on Padawans, like real kids competing. Okay. Come on, that would be cool. You remember what was that show, dude? That was like,
no, if that ever happens, and I'm sorry to shit on your idea, dude.
I love this
I honestly, I would be sitting here like, what the fuck is he doing here, bro?
I think Ahmed Best would be the coolest, man.
What is he doing here?
He's out there. He's out there doing
what?
He's out there trying to what is it? He's out there trying to rally the children that get lost after Order 66. What if he's out there doing what Cal Kestis was supposed to be doing?
I'd rather see Cal Kestis.
Well, dude, fucking everyone wants to see Cal Kestis. You're gonna put that dude in this fucking weird show? No, you're not gonna put Cal Kestis in the Skeleton Crew.
I'd rather see Cal Kestis and Skeleton Crew than Ahmed Best.
I think because of the fact that you're not gonna get any cameos. We're not gonna get any cameos from any main characters.
Yeah, and I'm fine with I'm fine.
That's why. Like we're good with that. Like we're okay with it because it's super disconnected. But just in factor of it, I think it would be a nice nod because, of course, Ahmed Best got his flowers in the Mandalorian show. Even though not that many people kind of knew who he was other than Jar Jar Binks. Like a lot of people didn't know of his continuing efforts in the Star Wars community. And then to know that he was like the guy that was like teaching the children, and then he was the guy that was protecting the children. And in the Mandalorian show or whatnot, they gave him a fucking, they gave him some skills. He wasn't like a fucking slouch, you know what I mean? Like he was out there doing some badass stuff. So like, I don't know. There was a part of me that's like, here are these kids in the Star Wars universe out there going on a big Goonies grand adventure. And the thing that reminded me the most in the Star Wars universe of that was Ahmed Best's TV show of when he was doing the adventure competition with the children. Because that reminded me of that weird ass Nickelodeon show with the fucking, I don't know if you remember the one with the fucking Indiana Jones theme. Remember when the kids would go to that show and it was like a big Indiana thing? And they had like, I forgot, like ruins of the temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. You see, like that's you remember that show, right? That was a good show. That was a fucking fun show.
Me and my friends up until a couple years ago used to get drunk and still watch it. They still have that. You can still go and
so dope.
watch that.
That's
we get drunk. We get drunk.
You get drunk and watch that.
We get drunk and put $5 on
who makes it
on a random team for that episode.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what we do for fun.
That's fun. That's a pretty cool thing. I love that show growing up. I thought it was really, really cool. And I remember that Disney used to have a show that was similar to it, and Ahmed Best was the guy that ran that show.
Got it.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I think it would be pretty interesting to have Ahmed Best if they do choose a Jedi to come and like save or work or do something. I think it'd be pretty cool if it was him. I think it'd be pretty dope. In the comment section, David says, dude, like the kids, LOL. I don't know what you mean, but because I don't even know when that came up. I don't even know when that comment came up. But yeah, that's the only person I think would do pretty good as a thing. I know Cal Kestis would be fucking amazing, but like, why waste him on this fucking show? Like, could you see a reason to bring Cal Kestis in this show?
I could have seen a reason to bring him in to any fucking show. We haven't got him yet, so at some point, anything would be. Okay.
Oh, you got to save him for something bigger, dude. Like the next Ahsoka series, or you got to do something big. Not on this one, man. But
I guess.
Well, for me, like I don't know, man. I think the show's going good. I know you're saying that it feels a little bit stale, that it's kind of like slowing down and whatnot, and you're kind of like slowly losing it. But I'm still pretty in it. I'm kind of excited to see the next episode. I do get the Goonies vibe. I do respect the Steven Spielberg, like Super 8 adventure, children's adventure story. I dig it. I think it's something that's refreshing for the Star Wars mantle. It's something that it's been needing. And I think this is a clear and present message as to Star Wars telling the audience, this is what we're moving forward with. Like, we understand that the Skywalker saga is your thing and we get it, but we're looking past that now. And this is our first footstep forward. None of that Star Wars, none of the Luke Skywalker story, none of any of that. This is what our Star Wars universe is going to be like. And I'm like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with a fresh start. Even if it's in the timeline a little bit past it, I'm okay with that. Expanding the universe, giving us more and giving us fresh new characters and making us feel comfortable with the universe. I'm excited for it. So can't wait for the next episode. I don't know when it comes out, but I'll make sure we get it. I'll make sure I'll watch it. Are you going to watch the next episode?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
Stick with it a bit. All right. Good stuff. So far, guys, not too bad for me. I'll give it like a 7.5. I give it like a 7.5. Brian, what are you going to give it so far?
Up until last week, I'd probably give it like around a 7. It's got to drop to around a 6. This episode was kind of a bore to me. I like it. They're building to where they need to get to. It's just taking fucking forever, I feel like. So
it's just taking forever.
Yeah.
So guys, don't forget Skeleton Crew, Disney Plus. Go check it out. Fun show. Knew everything in the Star Wars universe. Whole bunch of new shit. You're gonna love it. Onwards to our next conversation, and actually it's our last part of the conversation. We're going to be jumping right into this. This is going to probably take us a lot because we got a lot to say about this. But Brian, we finally, and we've been talking about this for a fucking while, haven't we? We finally got some type of vision of what James Gunn is putting down. We finally got the Superman trailer. We talked about it last week that we got a teaser poster. We got some teaser, like little intro, but we finally got the full drop of the trailer. And my God, people have been like all over the place with this stuff. There was dudes like fucking crying. I don't know if you saw this shit. I don't even know who, but there was like people were just crying at the reaction. Someone sent me a video of someone crying when fucking Crypto comes out. Like people are going nuts, and it's just a trailer. Brian, did you cry?
Unfortunately, I have to say I did not cry.
Yeah, man. Fuck, I really tried too, dude. Like I was trying to cry.
I wish I got a teaser trailer that made me cry.
Yeah,
I wanna feel what everyone else felt. But no, sir, I did not cry with the
yeah, I didn't cry much either, man. Actually, I was kind of confused when I was seeing some of the stuff, but other than that, I thought it was pretty dope. What'd you think of the trailer?
It was cool. It was cool. I just I was way more interested to find out what other people felt about it.
Miko?
I'm jaded, and you know what it is? I think, and I had some time to reflect and actually think on this. And yes, people, I do reflect and think when I'm not out here just talking shit. I think when it comes to superhero movies, we have, or I can't speak for everybody else, but I have a certain level of expectations. And then when it comes to specific characters, that expectation is higher than others. And when it comes to Superman, my expectation, which is probably not a good thing, is probably the top. Like that's like the toppest of expectations of a superhero character when it comes to a movie adaptation. And we have gotten a lot of Superman iterations.
Mhm.
And some are good, some are not so good, some are just flat out bad. Coming off of the heels of the Snyderverse and the Henry Cavill Superman, automatically you know that there's going to be some big shoes to fill. And the
Yes.
question was whether or not James Gunn would be able to not mimic it, but do it justice. You know,
Okay.
you know, for weeks I come in here and say, you know what, he's got a specific style. Either you like it, you don't like it. You know, it's gonna be up to whoever's watching it whether or not you know this is for you or not.
Mhm.
When I watched the there's a couple of things that stood out to me. One, I need to manage my expectations for this movie.
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, from this teaser trailer, this does not look like a James Gunn movie. This doesn't look like a James Gunn movie,
No.
which I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. Just yet. Three, they're gonna have this next trailer. I would like it to be centralized around Superman specifically.
Okay.
I don't want it to have as many cameos or as many other superheroes or villains. I needed to I've watched the trailer a few times, right?
Yep.
And although it's just a teaser, I don't know who the fuck this Superman is yet.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right?
I don't know who this is yet. So I'm not gonna jump the gun because again, it's just a teaser trailer. I'm not gonna jump the gun. No pun intended. But I will say it was okay. I didn't cry. I think I initially didn't understand why people were crying, but then I got to understand why some people may feel they love Superman way more than me. Me, when it comes to DC, Superman is like the pinnacle. He's the guy for me, but I still don't look at him like some other people do. Yeah,
Rob in the comment section says I cried. That he cried.
Yeah,
Rob would fucking cry.
Yeah, I don't look at it
so
like
agree.
I don't look at it like Rob did. But it was cool. It was cool. I'm glad they didn't rush to get this out. Like you and I used to
Yeah, that we
argue
talked about, right?
Like, I'm glad they didn't rush. Uh, I do think it's very smart to bring in crypto to this movie because if not, you weren't gonna bring in any normies whatsoever. But at least any normal human being can relate to a dog, a cute dog.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that
yeah.
was smart. Um, it
And
was
such
cool.
a good look for the dog too. Like it's not like you know, a lot of people always assume it's supposed to be like a golden retriever or something, but it's like a little schnauzer or something like that, right?
I mean, he's a lab
In the
in
cartoon, right?
in the cartoon,
Yeah.
and he's damn
Even in the
near a
comics
lab
too.
in the comics. Yeah, and he's damn near a lab. I don't know what kind of dog he is in the comics, but he's kind of resembles a lab. So yeah. So yeah, I mean it resembles the his dog, James Gunn's dog, which he did explain. So I get that part.
Okay.
Um, but it was cool. It was cool. I needed to see more.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm a huge Superman fan. You've heard me talk about him probably a million times in the goddamn show, and even it's enough that where people are like, "Yo, dude, Superman sucks" or whatever. I don't know in the current state of the community or whatnot, or even in humanity, like why it was that there was people out there that responded the way that they did when a lot of people have talked mad shit about the Superman character in the last several years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird how much love the trailer got in the last couple of days compared to like what it was for like the last 6 years.
I'm convinced, and I don't want to step on your take here, but I'm
Yeah,
convinced it's because people just don't like the Snyder Superman. That's the only thing
that
you
you
come
can
up
go
with.
with, right? But
And
I mean, dude,
if you go on Twitter, it's literally the James Gunn stands versus the James Gunn haters, and that's it. That's all that's going on Twitter right now.
but that's super weird. And the reason why I say this, and I'm only saying this just because of like, you know, because we're in the conversation at most of there were so many people that vouched that the Man of Steel movie was like the greatest Superman movie ever.
It's up there.
And for me, it wasn't. For
It's
me,
up there.
I didn't, for just on my take, I didn't really care for it. I kind of preferred the Christopher Reeves one Superman because he portrayed the Superman character as I seemed the Silver Age version of Superman. And the Man of Steel comic book or the Man of Steel movie was good action wise, but bad Superman wise. Because
How
he was
so?
always because he was always so like unsure of himself. Like he was always so unsure of what he was supposed to be doing. And the thing about Superman is when he shows up on the scene, you in the comic books or anywhere, he doesn't show up confused as to what he's supposed to do. He shows up and he gives other people confidence and hope. That's like his whole thing. That's like his whole shtick. And yes, he does struggle finding his humanity and his balance between his uh godhood, I guess you could say, and his humanity of being raised in Kansas or whatever. But like that's always been it when he's in isolation with himself, not when he's out and about. When he's out and about, he's confident, always confident, and he's always aware of what he's supposed to be doing, protecting others and doing the right thing and blah blah blah, all the smoke. You know what I mean? But like the Man of Steel movie always was against that. You know, the whole first part of his movie is he's just vagabonding around, finding little jobs and knickknacks because he just doesn't know where to be. Like he just does not know where to be. Like he meets Lois Lane not in the fucking Daily Planet. He meets her in the middle of a fucking military base for some reason that he got into for no reason. I don't know if you remember all this crazy shit.
I do. I don't. I mean, it's your take, and it's your opinion. I just think it was just someone's take on Superman. I don't think that
True.
at the end of the Snyderverse, that's not the Superman that we got. It
Yeah,
was
no.
it was the maturation of that, and I think that's the reason why, like, I kind of dug Zack Snyder's, and you know how I feel about Zack Snyder. I think he's overrated
I
as
know,
fuck.
I know. Oh, you don't like him.
But that's the reason why I appreciated Henry Cavill's Superman is because like you saw that maturation. You saw that maturation at the. I mean, I get it if that's who he was the entire way through, but you got that in like the first half of Man of Steel, and then after that, that Superman was never like that the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Like
I can see that.
you needed that aspect of him to get to where everyone fucking loved.
I could see that. But you also got the same thing in what is it, Batman versus Superman or whatever the fuck. Like he played like the biggest dummy, like in the whole thing, even fighting Superman or Batman for no reason. You know what I mean? Like it was written. I think they writ it for the entertainment, right? The action, the gravitas of the superhero story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it really wasn't much on the storytelling part. The only thing is, it was like a deconstruction of the Superman that we were comfortable with, and they made him more emotional. Like they made him
and I don't
fine.
mean to cut you off, but it was gonna bother me unless I said something. The only reason why we got that Superman v Batman movie the way that it was
money.
was not only because of the money, they were gonna do that anyway. It was because Kevin Feige kind of lit a fire under them to do that. So not apparently, but what happened, the reason why we got that movie so quick was because Zack Snyder ultimately wanted to do a Justice League movie. Like that was his plan. He wanted to put a universe together to make this Justice League movie. Kevin Feige catches wind of that and hyper speeds a Civil War movie in place of that. Avengers.
Oh yeah, it was around the same time, right? Yeah. I remember that.
So like he kind of like stepped on it. He was gonna step on it. So now Zack Snyder's put in an awkward situation where now he has to like super fast track this shit, because if he doesn't, he's gonna be left in the wind with Marvel. So that's the reason why the Man of Steel was kind of written wonky. It was shot wonky. The Batman versus Superman was shot wonky, written wonky. It's because they had to fast track that shit. So to cut them a little bit of bail, like they had to do what they had to do just to put something out in order for them to get into the Justice League, because Kevin Feige kind of shit.
Yeah, give him that pressure. Him that pressure. Yo,
it still worked. I'm not a big hater of Batman versus Superman. Like I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, for what it's worth, it was fun. But like, for some reason, I can reference my mind to Man of Steel before I want to reference Batman versus Superman.
Of course. All right. I mean, we're in agreement to that. Yeah.
So in that mindset, that's my brain telling me that I enjoyed Man of Steel more than I enjoyed Batman versus Superman. Like that's just my brain telling me that, because I'll even reference the Justice League before that, and I'll even mix it up too. Like I'll forget that like the Batman versus the Doomsday and Wonder Woman and all of them together, that was Batman versus Superman, not the Justice League. So like it kind of like it confuses a little bit. But
I wish our comments were working. Let me just shout this out really quick. Let me just shout this out really quick. Vince in the comments says DC / James Gunn fumbled this. He's not a big fan of this trailer, by the way. Obviously, Zack Snyder's Superman was way better than this shit. Suit is 50-50. The toxic Zack Snyder haters fuck up this movie and DC in a whole.
Damn, Vince came with the heat, man.
Came.
Yeah, I never see Vince cuss, man. That's crazy.
Came with the heat. And I kind of agree with them. I mean, again, I don't want to jump the gun because this is only a teaser trailer, and we don't know what.
Yeah, we can't really put it.
We literally had like 3 words of dialogue the entire fucking trailer, so we don't know what this is just yet. But from the looks, I'm still kind of siding with my man Henry Cavill. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I do dig the king of nerds, man. I 100% agree. The king of nerds is the dude, man. So, let me ask you something though. Do you think there's too much going on in this film?
You mean the trailer?
Yeah. Well, from what the trailer gives us, that's a lot that's in that trailer.
So
And
I
that's
think
not to go for it. Go for it.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. And that's why I said this next trailer. So this is just a teaser. I guess the first official trailer. I would like to see more of just Superman
Superman.
and Clark. Like, I don't need to see all of the part of my friends cum shots just yet. I need to see.
That's a good point. That's a good way to put it.
I need to see Superman and who we're dealing with. I want to see him moving around in the suit. Pause. I want to see him speaking. I want to see him interacting with Lois as Clark. I want to see him interacting with Lois as Superman. Like, that will give me a better idea of what we're dealing with.
But yeah, that's just to get a general idea of if this guy can pull this shit off, right?
If he can pull it off.
Because that's a huge fucking thing.
And honestly, that's what stood out to me. Like, if let's say for instance, he can't pull this off, that trailer would have been the perfect trailer to hide that. It literally gave you everything. You're like, hey, look over here. Look over here. This
fucking smoking
look
mirrors.
at. Yeah, we want you to look over here. Don't worry about the Superman and how he portrays Superman. So, like, that kind of stood out to me after thinking about it. I'm like, listen, this next one, I want to see what Superman is like. I want to see that.
Yeah, because they need to, man, because that's the whole foundation of this movie.
They gave you everything. They gave you Gardner, they gave you Hawkgirl, they gave you Crypto, they gave you the Kaiju, they gave you Mr.
Terrific.
They gave Mr. Terrific, they gave you
Metamorpho.
They gave
there's a fuckload, dude.
They gave you Lex. Yo, they gave you everything, bro.
Yo, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, okay, so you just listed a bunch of shit, and it's all in the same movie. So, like, okay, watch. We know for sure it's going to be Lex versus Superman. That's a given. That Lex is going to try to foil Superman's life in some way. In that process, you have Clark being Clark. You have Crypto, the dog, him running Crypto, and the Fortress of Solitude. Then from there, you have Guy Gardner, Hawkman, and I know there's one more character that's supposed to be with him, and I don't think he's Mr. Terrific. I think it's like John Stewart, maybe the other Green Lantern. I think he might be in it.
There's rumors that he's going to be at the end. Then you have Ultraman,
or something like that.
He's fighting Ultraman. Like, you get him fighting Ultraman.
Yeah, or something, right? Yeah. Fucking Ultraman's in it.
Yeah.
The chick, the engineer, that's part of the authorities in it. That's working with Lex Luthor. There's a fucking kaiju that's in the middle of this thing for no apparent fucking reason.
And I don't want to nitpick, but I got to agree with a lot of people. That kaiju looks fucking awful.
It looks weird. It looks weird. It looks like a fucking the little, what's that fucking weird
How to Train Your Dragon type of thing?
Yeah, it looks like How to Train Your Dragon. There's the kaiju shit. There's the engineer authority character that apparently is going to be helping Lex Luthor build some machine that apparently is how we're going to get Ultraman, who's a character from Crisis on Two Earths, who comes from the Crime Syndicate, which is the evil version of Superman. And then from there, we're going to get the Fortress of Solitude gets destroyed or attacked, where Kilker, I forgot the name of the robot that's always like mentoring Superman, is like on the ground and all this stuff. Metamorpho's in it. And then you got Mr. Terrific, who is like one of the smartest, if not the only guy that deals with the multiversal situations in all the DC landscape. That's a lot of shit. That's a lot of stuff for one film of Superman. And that's because, remember, we complained that Batman versus Superman and then getting fucking Doomsday in it was too much. Like, that's a lot. You don't feel like that's a lot? Like, just for the trailer,
say this. I will say
trial too.
I will say this. That from history, a director that's associated to a superhero movie with a lot of characters in them, James Gunn is probably one of the better ones to do it. So he's got the experience. I'm not going to discount that or just throw it out because of that. it is a lot to take in. It's a lot to comprehend. I don't know how they're gonna cram this into a 2-hour movie unless
Yeah,
we find out that the runtime is gonna be like 3 hours.
yeah, yeah.
But
That would only make sense.
if he tries to cram it into 2 hours, he's gonna be pushing it. But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hold that against him because he has earned at least that type of real estate
yeah.
with me
With the Guardian stuff.
that he can pull off an ensemble cast of superheroes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Suicide Squad was kind of iffy, right?
I liked it. I
Yeah,
liked
I
it.
mean, yeah, it was fun. I kind of feel in my opinion, I think the first Suicide Squad, the David Arnis or whatever.
David Ayers.
Yeah, I think his version of the Suicide Squad had better flow. Like there was something about it that the vibe was better, or something about it, like the consistency of the characters working together, how everybody pulled together. I think it was a little bit better. Um, the James Gunn one was a little bit. It was fun. It had all its knickknacks. It was very Guardians, but like there was a lot of stuff that was written in that just didn't make sense to me. Like the Star Ryu or Star whatever the fuck, like it being taken out by fucking Harley Quinn when Starro is like one of the Justice League's biggest fucking villains, and this chick took it out with a fucking harpoon. Like just weird James Gunn, corny fucking haha, got you. Look at this or whatever. Um, yeah,
Let me
I
ask you.
feel it.
Can I ask you a question really quick?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Kind of off topic,
Mhm.
but I was just reminded that let's say in about a week or two, it comes out that Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be part of James Gunn's DCU.
Oh man, yeah, I've heard
What
this.
is that? What does that say to you? Does that mean anything to you? Like, what will your thoughts be? Like, that's cool, or you don't like it, or like,
I mean, I'm cool with it.
I want to know what your thoughts on and why they would be doing that.
I think it's good. I think what Matt Reeves has done with the Batman character has been good, especially with the success of the Penguin show. I think he's locking in his fucking system better. I feel that the Penguin show, pacing wise, was a lot cleaner than the Batman movie. Like I think it was. And of course, like the biggest excuse for the Batman movie was like, oh, it's because it's his first year. You know, Batman's out here doing things and he's never done it. And it's like, I get it, bro. Like that, you can use that excuse all week. There are parts in that movie that just directing wise, I wouldn't have gone with. But then again, I'm not a director. I don't know how hard it is for that person to do that job. But the way that they did Penguin was real fucking good. Like really, really fucking good. And I could see that flowing into what we talked about, which is like them doing the Clayface, the Joker, you know, fucking the Victor Zaz, just jumping into all the rogues gallery for Batman. Like Matt Reeves, I think he understands it. Like he got it now. I think he has his paces done. Does that Batman work with this Superman? I don't know, man. Like I don't know how James Gunn, like once James Gunn touches it, it's a whole different monster. Like, like, can you imagine? Okay, like, just let me put this out there. Like, with the way the Penguin went, can you imagine James Gunn handling the Penguin in the Justice League?
I think that's the reason why, if you are an executive at Warner Brothers, that's the reason why you connect these two universes. Because I think, and this is just my perspective, this is just my theory here, is I think the executives at Warner Brothers know that some people are going to dig this movie and a lot of people aren't going to dig this movie.
Yeah.
And in order for you to, I don't want to say save face, but bring over Robert Pattinson's Batman, who has majority has a good
Look at.
a good overview from the fans, and then right off the heels of the Penguin, you know, we all feel really good about what's the guy that's in charge of
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. We
Yeah,
all
yeah.
feel good about Matt Reeves right now. So if you bring him into James Gunn's universe, it could help. I just,
Fuck
and
yeah.
again, that's me, just my theory hat, because then there should be no other reason, because from what we've been hearing, James Gunn has been trying to get this guy Pattinson over for a while, and they were
Mhm.
just like, yeah, now we're not fucking with him. Now I think they may be getting some pressure from Warner
Higher
Brothers
ups, right?
executives to make this happen.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what's happening. So I'm thinking they know what this is, and I don't know how well that bodes for this movie.
I
That's
don't
just
know,
my
man.
theory.
I think it'd be dope, dude. I think, I mean, Robert Patterson's a great fucking actor. You could literally put him in anything, and I think the kid like just kills it.
Eh,
I mean, he's got a lot of dynamic range.
does he?
He's- yeah, yeah. I mean, for what he's done, I mean, considering that he went from like he did Harry Potter, he did The Lighthouse, then he did Batman. He's about to do this movie where he's getting like cloned over and over again, and it's like a comedy.
What's your
Like,
favorite? What's your favorite Robert Pattinson movie, dude?
well, I liked him in Harry Potter. I even left out Twilight, right? But I love him in Harry Potter, man. Harry Potter, he did a good job, man. You don't think he did a good job in Harry Potter? I mean,
Yeah,
the
sure.
fucking best line in Harry Potter was "my boy," the dad screaming and shit. But he did good. Like, the small amount of time that he had.
Okay, so which movie that you're speaking of, or which project that he was a part of, that he has this range as you're talking about?
The
Like,
Lighthouse.
where is he displaying his range?
The Lighthouse, in the Lighthouse film with William Dafoe.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was a really great film. And
got
that
it.
dealt with a lot of like medium and close-up shots, a lot of like facial expressions, a lot of selling the emotion and all that stuff. That was like almost like a theatrical play as a film.
Okay,
So that one went really, really good.
yeah.
So and then like, I mean, in Batman, he worked with what he got, I guess. Like I bet you in that story there was a part of me that thought that he probably liked playing Batman more than he liked playing Bruce Wayne. Like, because the Bruce Wayne parts are just like, they're just moping, dude. All over the place are just mopey. But Batman, he did all right as. Like the
Okay,
Batman character in costume, he did all right. But again, like
got it.
the director
So
of the
so
Batman
Lighthouse and Batman is your answer.
Lighthouse was a fucking film though. Like being alongside, a fucking powerhouse like William Dafoe and him holding his own.
This is how I know you're not a really big Robert Pattinson fan, because there's one movie that he has that if you would have said, I was kind of banking that you didn't know that he did this movie.
Mhm.
If you would have said, you'd have had me dead to rights, and I would have had nothing to say about it.
All right, what movie?
I'm not telling you. I'm not gonna give you I'm not gonna feed you the ammo.
You're gonna
But
tell me Twilight or what?
there is. First off, I've never watched not one Twilight movie.
First off, should have said that.
let's
better.
just
That would've been
let's
funny.
just let's just get that out there. And you guys are gonna hate me. I get it. But I have not watched not one Twilight movie ever, not 1 minute of a Twilight movie. So I
That's
would not.
good. Shouldn't
I
watch
could
that
not.
movie. It's not
I
good.
could have not have told you. It's too many pale faces. I can't do it. But you know what? I will give you the cheat sheet. I will give you the answer. There
Is it
is
the
a
movie
movie.
that they put up here, the devil all the time?
No. There is an A24 movie that I watched that has him starring in it. It's called Good Time. It's
Good
called
Time.
Good Time. Yeah, it came out a few years back,
Mhm.
and he did a phenomenal job in that movie, by the way. Like,
Oh
if
shit!
you
Well, I
want
haven't seen that movie.
if you want to see range, that's range. This guy's a scumbag. He's got like a mentally challenged brother.
Is it the
And-
one where he's in the fucking like where he robs a bank or some shit?
Yes.
Robs, like, yeah,
With
I
his-
see the meme all the time. I just don't know what it is. But okay, like, well, then you get this because like again, the Lighthouse is he is. a
I just
guy-
wanted to know where you get it from, because like if you didn't see Good Time, Good Time is the only movie where like I saw him where he's got some fucking range.
you were like, okay, this guy's got something.
I was like, that movie, he was manageable. He was manageable in that movie. I'm not gonna
that's
lie.
good. Manageable is good. Manageable is fine. But like I said, the Lighthouse is it goes off of the old telling of like guys that are stuck on lighthouses, like they end up going crazy because they're isolated and all they can hear is the fucking splash of the ocean or something, like the thing, and it drives them bonkers. And in that movie, he pulls a William Dafoe, man. Like those guys are both bonkers together, man. So if you haven't seen that one, that one's a show. That one's a fucking show. But it's very like I said, it's very emotional. It's got like a very theatrical moment to it where it's like very close ups and middle shots and stuff like that, and him going completely bonkers. But yeah, I think Robert Pattinson would probably do. But again, it's not the fact that I think Robert Patterson going to the DC universe with James Gunn is good. It's how James Gunn utilizes the character once it's there. Like, is he going to get there and it's going to be a bunch of, James Gunn dick jokes? Like, or is it going to be considered like the same way where he gets like his like what is it, his brodiness, his dark essence, like he's sitting in the shadows or whatever. But then again, that's a hard thing to do too, because they couldn't get that with the Ben Affleck and Superman movie, right? Like it was hard for them to sell like the dark brodiness noir of Batman, so they had to make him like a powerhouse Batman. So they had to make him a little corny, right?
Which Batman?
The Ben Affleck one.
No, that Batman is, to my surprise, some people's favorite Batman of all time. So no, don't
get me wrong. Like, it's a good. Ben Affleck did like the best that we've seen in a long time with a Batman character. But once you take him out of his environment, which his movies are going to be like the Batman movies, dark, a lot of black and shadowy colors, and him hiding in the shadows, and you start to put him in front of another bunch of like superheroes, then he's going to pull him I'm like the Hawkeye guy. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really fly. I can't do this. I could just use my gadgets, which is like in the Justice League movies when he's fighting the parademons and he's like doing fucking rolls and throwing boomerangs. And then eventually he picks up their guns and starts shooting them with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he ends up just being back to what he normally is. But even with that, you had your, when Wonder Woman shows up, and Batman and Superman look at each other, and Superman looks at him and goes, "Is she with you or whatever?" And no, I thought you invited her or whatever. And then all of a sudden Wonder Woman looks at him and he's like, "Hey, did you get my email or whatever?" Like there's a bunch of weird little corny things that have to come up after you put Batman in these movies with these superheroes. Cause you have to, and they do it across the board. The Snyderverse had to do it, where they had to do little comedy things. The Flash is like, "Yo, what's your superpower?" "Oh, I'm rich." Like, they have to kind of like do a bunch of these like corny jokes, because the Batman vibe does not flow when he's amongst other people. Do you get what I'm saying or no?
I mean, listen, that's your take, and you're well within your right, but I don't think. So basically, what you're asking me is, did the Snyderverse Batman gel well with the other superheroes? And if I'm gonna be honest with you, he was probably the most enjoyable one out of all of them. So
well, I mean, that's because we don't have a reference for a Ben Affleck film. Like we don't have a vibe. Robert Patterson has a whole ass vibe. Like you look at the Penguin, you look at the Batman movie, like we know exactly the character that this is. And then you're going to put him in a movie with this Superman.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Again, Zack Snyder is suffering for me from the Russo brothers effect, and like I liked him in the
earlier
in the DCEU. I think he worked well there. Was I championing for restore the Snyderverse? Fuck no.
Yeah, no,
but did I like it while it was here? Yeah, it was cool. It worked for me. Batman worked for me. Wonder Woman worked for me. Wonder Woman 1 is, one of the better DC movies. Man of Steel, again, really good. Batman v Superman, it is what it is. But then again, I understand a little bit behind the scenes of why that is the way that looked. And then the Justice League, there's another, explanation for that. So I don't know. It worked for me. I'm not gonna poke holes in it. Hopefully this iteration of the DCU can take that and make it better, make this better. But they're gonna have, all I'm gonna say is they have, and I'm kind of with Vince on this, they have some big shoes to fill, as far as I'm concerned. As the fan that I am now, I'm not a hardcore DC fan comic wise. When I first got into comics, it was through DC, so I grew up That's why Superman does have a soft spot in my heart, and that's why I do have that expectation of Superman. Like I grew up in comics on Superman
On
first,
Superman.
first and foremost, before anything else. It was Superman, and then it was Batman, and then I got into my Marvel bag, and then it was no looking back after that.
Yeah, and
But
then I got lost. Then I'm
yeah,
lost in the sauce, dude.
and then it was no looking back after that, and I kind of faded away from the DC
From the
side.
DC landscape, right?
It was mostly Marvel and Marvel only. DC was a little bit too dark for me, but
Well, it was very Greek mythos, right? Like it has
yeah,
the stories are more like they're heavier.
yeah,
Like
they're
it's a
they're
heavier
very
story.
they're
Yeah.
very heavier. They're darker.
Mhm.
Even just the panels and the colors that they use are very dark. And so like it was and Superman wasn't that in the beginning. Like it wasn't
Yes.
that. So um I kind of got off on a little bit of a tangent, but I'm still a Superman fan, and to this day I always would say that Superman would beat the shit out of Goku. Like that's saying a lot because
Yeah, that's saying a lot. I know, and I know that means a
I'm a
lot.
big
I know that
I'm a
means a
big
lot.
Dragon Ball fan, so like
Yeah, yeah.
saying that is a lot. So I'm a big Superman fan, and I just hope that James Gunn uh
Kid gloves, baby. I bet you
I
better go in there with the surgical work, because
yeah, and the
dude,
fact
if
that
he fucks this up, man.
yeah, there's a lot riding on this, and the people that know that there's a
Yeah.
lot riding on this. And again, I really would have wished that this trailer would have focused
More on
mainly
Superman.
on Superman. Yeah.
Just at least kind of give us that pillow. But let me
Yeah.
ask you, similar to the same question you asked me. How do you feel Matt Reeves's Batman does with what we saw with the trailer for Superman if they were to combine these two characters?
It depends. It depends. It depends if it was something that was mutually agreed upon between Matt Reeves and James Gunn. I think it can work because there's no bigger difference than Batman and Superman. And the Batman that we have right now and this Superman that from what we're seeing, they are going to be so fucking different.
Oh, super crazy, right?
So that works in that sense. But if it comes out that they were only forced together and now they're forced to work together,
Yeah.
this is going to be a complete shit show.
Oof. That's a good point. Yeah. Because like you said earlier, where Matt Reeves had been approached several times by James Gunn about like teaming up or whatever. Even when James Gunn first popped in and he's like, "Oh yeah, we're going with a whole new Batman."
Yeah.
Like even on the aspect of that, there was the Joker films that were coming out still, and Matt Reeves was working on the Batman project too. Like for James Gunn to come
And
out,
James
and
Gunn and James Gunn announced the Batman movie.
Yeah. Like I'm guaranteeing that's
He was
probably the main reason why is because when James Gunn first came in here, he was like, "Yo, dude, doing everything brand new." While Matt Reeves was working on a Batman that he was probably expecting to be the Batman for the DC universe. Like, I mean, that
The
makes a
Brave, I
fuckload
could
of
never remember.
sense.
The Brave and the Bold. The
Yeah.
Brave and the Bold
The
was
Brave
the
and the Bold.
name. The Brave and the Bold was the movie that you remember when he sent out that YouTube fucking video where he was naming all of the
All the
fucking
stuff.
all the things, and that was one of them. He was planning on doing his own Batman,
Yep.
and now all of a sudden you're gonna go with Matt Reeves Batman.
And I really think it's because of the success of the Penguin. I really think that when they saw the Penguin movie and they were like, or the TV show, they were like, "Holy fuck, this is good! Like this is like
Okay,
this
so
is
now
really fucking good."
so now if you're Matt Reeves, right?
Yeah,
and
what do you do
know
now?
this,
Hey, bitch, why you
you
asking me, right? Like,
and you
what's
know
up?
this, right? Because you're
Yeah.
not a dummy. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that they're only coming to you because of the success of what you've built. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I would be pissed, dude. I would be like, all right, let's see what you got for money, man. You're gonna have to pay me. I bet you that's probably what it is. That Matt Reeves is probably gonna be like, hey man, well, you're gonna fucking pay me now because I'm here and I'm doing the work that you guys should have done a long time ago. Because Matt Reeves is really the only person that's putting shit out there that's successful. Like everything else in the DC universe either gets killed or cut down. So like for James Gunn to be like, nah, Brave and the Bold, we don't need nobody else. We're gonna do it. We got this. And now to be like second comings and him be like, oh fuck, like Matt Reeves really knocked it out of the park and made this fucking thing. Now we got to work with him because everybody loves him. So I really think that that's where we're gonna sit at with it.
If I was Matt Reeves, I would be, I would say, you know what? You are going to have to back up the Brinks truck for me to work with this guy.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
And I'm sure they would do it.
What's up, Sal? Sal in the comment section. He goes, sorry, not impressed with the Superman trailer, dude. Fucking Sal. And Sal's a G, dude, when it comes to comic books, man. Like, this guy knows. Well, you know what? Okay.
And see, that's the problem. We didn't get much Superman to be impressed with.
We got a fuckload of things that are in the show. And it's like you said, we listed shit that's going on in the movie.
That's the issue with that trailer. And no one wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to just either jump on Snyderverse side or not Snyderverse side. But there's no Superman to grab onto in this.
Tinfoil hat time, dude. Tinfoil fucking hat time. What if? Because I don't know if anybody remembers this, but before the trailer dropped, apparently there was a leaked trailer or a trailer shown to people at Warner Brothers that were just like commoners or whatever, that they just kind of like, oh, here's our teaser. We're going to show it and do like a viewing just for Inner House. And those people said that the viewing for the trailer sucked. It sucked. And then James Gunn went back and redid it because they said it sucked. And then we got this trailer, which everyone was like, oh, this is a lot better now. What if the first trailer had this kid acting and it wasn't good? Like, what if, because you're absolutely correct. I never thought of that. Like, there was nothing of this dude.
That's what I said.
Talking or anything.
That's what I said. Is
100%.
The reason why, for me, this trailer kind of stood out is because it's giving you everything. It's giving you everything in a This isn't even an official trailer. This is a teaser trailer, and it's giving you everything. It's giving you everything besides this guy talking, walking in the suit, doing anything. Like, it doesn't give you anything, bro. So like, this is one of those trailers where it's like, hey, look at this over here, this shiny thing over here. It's shiny and it looks good. It's over here, but what it's not showing you is Superman. So this next one,
it's got
I'm expecting you to not dodge that. You got away with this one. This was cute. Again, you basically just jerked off on the fucking TV screen for 2 minutes and gave us everything. From what I'm presuming,
I'll give it to him, right? I'll give it to James Gunn. He did a phenomenal job with Chris Pratt as Star-Lord. By the ending of Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like, you look to Star-Lord as a leader, as a person who cared about his team, and was always on the fact of doing the right thing. He did
different. It's different though, Chris.
It's Superman. Yeah, it's 100% different.
Yeah.
But writing a character, like, at least the writing is there. Like, can he write a character that people want to rally behind?
He could have wrote anything for Star-Lord and we wouldn't have fucking knew any better.
Yeah, we wouldn't clean slate.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known any better. Superman, we have expectations, brother. We have expectations for this guy, so you can't pull that over. You can't pull that off with this guy, yo.
Yeah,
just like fucking Vince in the Vince is going. I don't know if you've been watching.
Vince I'm reading it over here. That's why I keep comments, bro. I'm reading him and I'm reading Sal now. Sal's dropping some heat too, man.
Like, Vince is going off in the comments, and that's what James Gunn. I'm not that bad, but like that's what James Gunn has to fight with. Like, he's fighting with those type of fans, yeah, people. I mean, and it's valid, man. It's valid. Like, James Gunn was the one that was like, yo, I got this shit. I'll take over for where The Rock doesn't want to do it or whatever the fuck. Like, he wanted this position. And now he has to write an at least great story for one of the most prolific superheroes on the face of the earth. Like, in 100 billion years, when aliens or whatever culture finds our Superman comics, they're gonna think this guy existed. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be our Achilles. It's gonna be our Hercules in 500 years. Yeah.
And James Gunn has to bring that shit. Like, James Gunn's got to bring. I don't know. So we finally got the trailer for Superman. Brian, yay or nay?
Listen, I'm gonna say yay. Because I had some questions, it looked good. I'm not. Again, I have my reservations. Obviously, I'm not going to totally shit on it. I just think that there are some things that they need to do on this next one to not get me completely off board. I'm still on board. I'm giving this guy a chance. I'm giving Corin Sweater, whatever the fuck his name is, and I'm gonna give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt. And I'm still on board. But
Yeah,
it could have been better. I would have liked this to be solely around Superman, but it gave me
everything else.
everything else, basically.
Well, at least I know fucking crypto's in it.
Like, what else is in this movie that we haven't seen already? We've seen everything, bro.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing we haven't seen is
Brainiac.
when
If he's
Ultraman takes his mask off and it's this guy, like an evil version of him.
or a Brainiac if he's in the movie, but that's it. Everything else,
Oh man, that'd be crazy if fucking Brainiac was in the movie. Oh, that weird fucking globe that's shooting shit when he's putting his shoes on too. What the fuck? I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
and he's just like casual about it while it's killing fucking hundreds of people in the background.
I don't know what he's doing up there, but he doesn't seem to be.
He's not excited to be out there.
He's not in a rush.
Already with Lois, right?
He's not in a rush to take care of it. I know that much.
And that means, and Lois already knows he's Superman.
Yeah.
So that means in this fucking part of this movie, somewhere we're gonna get that Lois figures out he's Superman in the first movie.
Seems to be.
Jesus Christ, dude. And you got the Fortress of Solitude.
And the Fortress of Solitude.
Jesus Christ. And you got Guy Gardner and all these other superheroes showing up to already start like the Justice Society or the Justice. Jesus, man, there's a lot of shit going on in this film. But I'm gonna give it up to him to at least say that with this trailer, I did get the Christopher Reeves vibes. I got the nostalgia vibes. I got the some of the things that were being used, some of the lighting attention, some of the way this kid looks like. I got a lot of that Christopher Reeves vibes, and that feels good. Because that's a very cool nod of the hat. Like I love Christopher Reeve's Superman. I think that Superman always resonates very well with like the younger, hopeful generation of the Superman crowd. I just hope that they can pull it off because that's just assets and lighting and font and even like this poster. The poster that they released is gorgeous, man. Gorgeous poster of Superman. I swear to God, I'm gonna try to find this fucking poster because I want this the poster of Superman with the flare.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, it's so gorgeous, man. But that's just fucking putting what's that? Bedazzling a turd, man. You know what I mean? I just hope that, James Gunn is able to pull it off. That's all. Yeah, that's about it. Guys in the comment section and girls, if you guys are out there, what do you guys think? Did you guys see the trailer? Did you guys really, really like it or did you not like it? Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought. Let us know like Vince let us know and Sal let us know. Like they really let us know, dude. Vince's last comment was, nah, it's James Gunn fucking up DC. I'm not impressed. It's sad for DC fans. He's not wrong. It's not wrong. But again, Vince, rate 1 out of 10. Crazy. But Vince, you gotta be like us. Reserve your what's up? What you
rate it. You gotta rate it. Rate the teaser trailer. 1 out of 10. What do you got?
I'm gonna probably rate it like a low 7.
Okay. I'll go. Okay. Good.
The reason why I'm gonna do it as a low 7 is just because even before the fact that I noticed, like you said, like Superman really wasn't like like there's nothing about it that it even gives us an idea of what he's like.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even realize that, but I just feel like there's too many things that's gonna happen in a 2-hour movie.
Okay.
Like I feel like there's way too much, unless this is gonna be like the middle of the spider web that reignites the entire DC universe, and out of all of that, everything goes to like a different character. Then okay, you know what I mean? But it's very hard to tell. And there's just a lot of shit going on. Like I'm afraid that they're not going to be able to pull it off.
Okay, so you're giving it a 7.
7 low.
Okay, 7 low. I'm probably gonna give the trailer. It didn't sell me as much as everybody else. I probably give it a 6. I do think that there is potential for the next one to be higher.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not totally off it. I'm not jumping off ship yet, but it was a 6. It was decent. It was good.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Well, guys, that's it for the show today. We appreciate everybody. Brian, what do you got coming on this week? You got anything cool?
It's Christmas. It's Christmas, bro. So I'm gonna be hanging with the fam, doing the Christmas thing, getting some some ham and some food and some mac and cheese in me and
Dude, I
relaxing.
love mac and cheese, dude. Literally, like I forgot who I was texting yesterday, and they were like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm fucking eating mac and cheese, baby." I was at a friend anniversary or whatever, friend givings, which is very nice. We had a great time. But mac and cheese, dude. I love mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Brian, I hope you have a happy holidays and you stay safe up there. Hope you guys get beautiful white snow and all that stuff because you guys always get the cooler weather than we do. It's going to be like the 80s, dude. Right now, it's like 74 outside.
Oh, nice.
It might rain. Yeah, it might rain, but we ain't getting no snow anytime soon. If not, maybe like next month or whatever. But
got it.
Yeah, we hope that you're safe up there and you're doing good and happy holidays to you, your family, and everything, Brian.
Yes, I want to say happy holidays to you as well, Chris, and happy holidays to everyone in the comments. Thank you guys. For a whole year. I know we'll see you again before another year is up or before the New Year's, but just thank you guys for rocking with us, this entire year, and happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate doesn't make a difference.
Yep.
Hope everyone's safe and have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. And thank you guys for tuning in to all our extraordinary listeners. We'll see you guys again here on the Average Boys podcast next Sunday. You guys have a good week. Have some fun times and be safe. Laters.